One more song for you all. As folks arrive, got a little exciting instrument swap to accomplish.
Good morning, UC Irvine students, friends, and faculty. We are here on Abenaki land in Glover, Vermont, where we, the Bedsheet Performing Company, present to you Declaration of Light.
Eyelids, windows, doors, and curtains must all open at exactly the same moment of truth, the arrival of light.
We are the Bedsheet Performing Company. We salvage bed sheets from the dumpster, as you see here, and we examine them for their secret history and thoughts, which we would like to share with you. Quo vadis, where are you going, used to mean the fall of the Roman Empire, but now means the collapse of the capitalist empire. And now we present to you the latest discovery concerning our universe.
As you know, the universe is well protected. But contrary to previous assumptions, the universe is pink. Pink.
Here in the pink universe, there is this planet called Holy Cow Planet! As you can tell here, the Holy Cow landscape is a landscape where the hills wrap around the sky, which with the Holy Cow in the center, who provides all the necessary illumination for the planet's light. This planet you can see here exists, even though it is totally ignored by the 8 most important Republican Senate of the pink universe.
And now, the Union of American Bedsheets advises you to take a deep breath and issue aloud in honor of the newly discovered Holy Cow Planet and the equally newly discovered pink universe.
Tools of light, hands and feet, eyes and ears, pens and notebooks, brushes and old bed sheets, hiking boots and bicycles must all be intensely trained to participate in the upcoming battle of ordinary light against extraordinary darkness.
musician and in transition to be a mortician. And this is my lovely assistant, Christine, who has a healthy daily routine, loves routine, and got the Pfizer vaccine. All right, for you today, ladles and jelly spoons, we shall perform a trick of epic proportions with a 4-second delay that will forever change how you see the future. Now, all I need are 3 volunteers. From law enforcement, is it you? What? Thank you. Officer number 1. That's me. Officer number 1 receives a domestic abuse call. No. But with the use of the magic word, disarm us, defund us, abolition. And we have transformed him into a social worker. I've got social work to do, don't we all? Officer number 2. Oh, yes, officer number 2 spots a group of teenagers fleeing the scene of a crime. Oh, perhaps they're simply just walking home from school. What? Again, the use of the magic word. Disarm, defund, abolition. And we have transformed her into a teacher.
Oh, I've got to go make sure all the protocols are in place for the new students returning to school.
Thank you for your service. Officer number 3. I'm officer number 3. Yes, you are. Officer number 3 spots a person who appears to be houseless, dressed strange, and perhaps has mental health issues.
Hey, you!
And we have transformed him into a service dog. I must inform you that this has been no trick at all.
No, but it is a radical reimagining of society, which you can participate in by simply pressuring your representatives to defund the police.
Yes, Christine. And I am no magician.
A whale-watch tour operator.
And I am not actually a magician's assistant, but
Sitting and waiting in the shadow of the predictable future, the future's students have to research the most evident glimmers of light and invent new techniques how to make them available.
On April 7th, in Taze, Myanmar, soldiers set fire to the protesters' barricades. Then, as black smoke rose from the piles of sandbags and burning tires that were the town's last defense, they opened fire. Using snipers, machine guns, and heavy artillery, the soldiers easily overpowered the protesters. A charity clinic set up for the injured at the Pinsa Monastery in Myanmar was raided by soldiers for nearly 2 hours. A group of armed men emerged from the vehicle after hitting a protester and beat the 26-year-old Muslim man before taking him away. There is nothing left in the village, only dogs and chickens. Everyone is hiding in the forest. Let's listen to the radio again. Let's make phone calls to each other too. Do as many guerrilla strikes as you can. Please join. We will leave flowers at the bus stops tomorrow. That's what I want to tell you guys before the internet goes down.
Warning happens when enough birds loudly request the rising sun's light till day is achieved.
Light cannot only mean the old light. We need new light. Because of the exhaustion, light suffers from the many misuses to which we submit it.
Again and again, nimble light climbs to the top of the mountain and then spills its contents into the suffering valleys below.
In 1965, Russian theorist Mikhail Bakhtin, in one of his finest footnotes, mentions the existence of a 3rd century scroll that attributes the creation of the world to divine laughter. And now, to elaborate further, Tom.
And now the history of laughter. In the beginning, there was darkness and not much else. God, who had spent billions of lifetimes creating the darkness and shaping it to get it just right, looked at the darkness and thought,
Is that all there is?
this thought struck God as funny. And for the first time in history, God laughed. When God burst out laughing, there was light. This light allowed God to see all that had been hidden in the darkness. Now, at this point, the universe was still mostly empty. Not much to look at except for some rocks of different shapes and sizes. One of these rocks, this one, struck God as funny, causing God to laugh a second time. Which caused the watchers to be born. The more God laughed, the more God created. Which gave God more to laugh at. When God laughed a seventh time, the soul was born. And God has not stopped laughing since.
Dancers dance on water. Cars drive over clouds. Humans with cardboard wings fly to the sky when the real light hits them.
When the sensible tremble from fear.
The educated recognize their deception.
Be optimistic.
sink to their knees.
And the reasonable. Despair.
In everyday life, lights its match and says nonsense.
And now we are so excited to welcome to the stage Elka Schumann to play a tune. Ira Magic. All right. No Ira, but we have Miss Elka Schumann. Here. And now we would like to re-welcome to the stage the world famous dancer who you just saw perform. Also happens to play a little fiddle and sometimes dabbles in puppetry. That's right. Everyone in the room, put your hands together for a nice long clapping intro for Professor Dr. of Nonsense, Peter Schumann.
Given to me by this is a non-essentialist sermon. As our civilization is busy defining its essentials, we non-essentialists must deliver the missing insurrection, lamentation, resurrection services that the moment requires. Gun insurrections are realized by the gun religion, which holds that sufficient amounts of pain and blood will provide necessary change. But insurrection originates in the mind, not in our muscles. And the mind's insurrection is fought with the mind's weaponry, whether birds or paper mache. Committed to radical investigation of the meaning of change. What change, which change, whose change? Change from which reality to which alternative reality? the little huge planet on which we live. Require the ultimate insurrection against the human dictatorship over the planet, against the arrogant human assumption of ownership of the planet, against the ill-informed authority of a civilization which methodically destroys the very foundation of life. An insurrection that aims for a totally new republic, one that is ruled by Mother Earth and her collaborators. Sorry.
And now we're just going to take a moment to reorganize our setup for the question and answer portion.
Since I was flying over there.
Okay. Do you guys? Oh, yeah. That just. Yeah, it's. Maybe.
We saw you for a second, Josh, and then you went away.
You have to.
If you put my computer right there, you could see it through that this one.
Please post your questions and comments in the chat, everybody. Yay, Red Puppet.
Hi, Juliet. Nice to see you.
Is your video working now?
My video is not working.
So maybe we can.
Start the video just one more time. Just one more time. Can I also start the video again, please? So I can.
Yeah.
It's just that. But I don't think we have the adapter to make this work.
But it's okay. I mean, we can see people here. Josh, it's fine. We can see people here, and we can just use the camera here.
Oh, great. Genius. Genius.
Oh.
I spot it. It's just this one to take out. I'm gonna put it here.
And are we using that audio or just?
We can see Peter, we can see everybody. Audio is working and we can see Red Puppet Theater. We see, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you for your patience, everyone.
A few questions in the chat. I'll start with mine. First of all, congratulations on the really inspiring and beautiful, poetic, gorgeous performance. Much appreciated and much needed in our world. So thank you for that. So I'll start with my question, and that is, I'm curious about process. How much of this, I can put my camera on here. How much of the work, okay, how much of the work is created out of ensemble conversation, and how much of the work is leadership? How much is Peter involved in shaping the work, or is there perhaps there's another director involved in shaping the work as well? And how much of it is ensemble? How much of it is pure flat circle conversation?
97% ensemble. I claim 3%.
97% ensemble, 3% Peter.
3% messing it up.
If you ask the company, the answer would be different.
Okay.
Our process for a lot of this work was Peter made those paintings that you saw, and then we made proposals with puppetry and movement based on those paintings, and then Peter shaped those proposals into pieces.
And he wrote the text too.
And Peter also wrote the text.
And
with
Bakhtin, my friend Bakhtin.
and Peter's friend Mikhail Bakhtin, and also news reports and stuff like that. Like in the Myanmar piece, when we're responding to current events, often we'll take text right from the news.
Fabulous, thank you. I know it's challenging to do 100% ensemble work, but it really does feel ensemble driven. And I can see that it is, it comes out of the group spirit and certainly the content, Okay, so other questions. So where does the inspiration for the artwork come from? I know that Peter's been doing this work for a very long time and has developed his own aesthetic, which is so distinct. So yeah, Peter, I don't know if you have you want to add to that?
Yes, we have a very good friend. We call him the Honeyman because he's a beekeeper. And he came by last spring, not this spring, a year ago, or was it 2 years ago, with a wagon load full of old tossed out bed sheets from a hotel in southern Vermont. And then I just did scientific research at what is inside these bed sheets. All the imagine what's in the bed sheet. Oh my God, all the pain, all the fun, all the wrapping babies up in it, to have grandmas be sick in it. It's all in the bed sheets. All you have to do the research. It's all inside there. And then you have to paint it. Yeah. That's how it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so great. Thank you. What were some of the inspirations for writing the plays? So I guess like where you got your research, the content, like did you turn to the news? Did you turn to social media? Where do you get the inspiration for the content of the work?
I think the puppeteers started improvising with these painted bed sheets and with masks. And the text, for example, for the Myanmar show, came from a friend who had been there, who was deeply upset by the absence of Western countries' reaction to the horror there. And he asked, can we do something? Yeah. And so we took a text, edited them, there was some by the puppeteers, edited the text down to a reasonable amount of understandable quotes, and that's how that show came together. It's really quite different from one canvas to another. The blue one with the laughing god is indeed a Bakhtin research where he found out about an old Egyptian mythology, creation myth that creates the world from divine laughter. So that's a real retelling. That's
so beautiful. And I'm sorry if I didn't hear it correctly. Where did that idea come from?
But which one? The
one about the god laughing.
That's an Egyptian 3rd century creation myth that Bakhtin discovered.
Russian theorist Mikhail Bakhtin.
I think she just quoted some other researcher.
Okay.
You wanna?
Take it away, Lindsay McCaw.
Yeah, we got it from the Mikhail Bakhtin book about Rabelais and his world.
Can someone repeat that? We couldn't quite hear.
I am not the authority on this particular question, but
You can type it in the chat.
Yeah.
They're saying they're gonna type it in the chat.
It's a famous research by Bakhtin about 16th century carnival, and he calls it the history of laughter. So it's about reveling and throwing shit at the Pope and all that.
Should we show it?
I'm just gonna take it.
Go for it, Sam. No, go for it.
So another question, I'll just change directions here. How much work and time goes into the creating of set pieces and puppets? Is it time consuming?
I think that, so for a lot of the puppets, we're really fortunate that Peter, with the Vermont Puppet Theater for the past 50 plus years, has just created a large archive of puppetry. And so a lot of times we just go to our, what we call the red shed, and we have multiple puppet storages on the property. We're able to just go from spot to spot, and it's really nice because in our situation, we start off with the banner. We pick a banner that we like, and then we're able to then pull puppetry that speaks to us from the banner. Sometimes the banner has clouds, and we pull clouds sometimes. And so a lot of it is a lot of that work is cut by having that resource. But then if there is something specific to the show that needs to be done, then we kind of find the impossible time to make it happen.
And you can definitely see Peter's hand in the aesthetic of the work. Are there other artists that are like learning Peter's aesthetic and creating this work, or are you collaborating and finding the aesthetic, or is Peter doing it all, or how does it all work?
Do you mean the aesthetic of
The artwork, the sets and the puppets?
that's mostly Peter?
Yeah, but if you would stay a day longer, you would see the box cutters show. That's half of the company that participated right now, and they made their own easily wonderful puppets, or a little bit more wonderful and less impressive also.
Nice. So here's a question about casting. How do you decide who plays which puppets or characters?
How tall are you?
It all really comes down to who's available based on the previous and the next scene. And then, I mean, we all have our own strengths and weaknesses, but sometimes that doesn't come into consideration when you're stuck in a costume change.
Right.
And also who's available to rehearse, right? Sometimes, just in a given afternoon, we'll have an hour to make a proposal to Peter, and there's a meeting going on, and there's some work that needs to be done in the print shop, and there's some gardening that needs to happen, and then there's two people who are available to make a proposal to Peter. And those people are the people who end up, creating a little scene that might or might not make it into a show. Sometimes also who's excited about it. Oh yeah, excitement.
Lead with passion. Yeah. And was this show specifically created for the online content, or is this like a combination of older pieces and newer pieces, or?
It is a combination of the some of the shows, the banners in front of the banners, those have been developed this winter time, and we've been performing them in parking lots. So we've been going to the Walmart parking lot with the bread and puppet painted van that has a rig with pulley system. So we're able to just hoist up the banners in parking lots. So we have been developing some of that this winter. And then also the box cutters came and they developed their show since they've been here in residency for the month of April. And the Magician Act, one of the act with the magician that wasn't about a banner, that was a circus act from this past summer, this summertime.
So you guys have been performing during COVID?
Yes, in a socially distanced way.
Socially distanced way in Walmart parking lots. Love it.
Thousands of puppets.
And what has the response been?
Adulation, ecstasy.
And minimal sometimes. We give
In northern Vermont, ecstasy of a public is expressed by sitting in the car and cranking the window on the driver's side 2 inches down. That is the utmost ecstasy that you find.
A lot of drive-by. Sometimes we just perform from the mountains, in the background, played to the sky.
How many members are in the company at this point? It sounds like you have an intern. You have an intern company called the Box Cutters. Is that correct?
So currently there are 5 members in the resident company. That is the company that works with Bread and Puppet year long, and that's everyone you saw in that first skit, the Holy Cow. Then we have a really awesome group of all Bread and Puppet alumni that is called the Box Cutter Collective, and I'll let them explain who they are.
Hello, yes, I'm one of the box cutters, and there's 6 of us up here. We all met at Bread and Puppet. There's another one. We're the ones brave enough to wear color. But we were fortunate enough to find some time in our schedule that worked with the company schedule up here. We've been wanting to collaborate and make a show with Peter. So we planned a sort of retreat up here. So we've been making a separate show that we use a piece of in this Declaration of Light. Yeah, working with Peter on that all for 3 weeks. And Sam has something she wants to say.
And in the summertime and on different tours, different members of our group joined the Bread and Puppet Company and the expanded Bread and Puppet Company and do Bread and Puppet shows too. And live here.
Got it. Okay, fabulous. And what's the name of, that's the Box Cutters?
Collective.
Collective, okay, great. Okay. I have one last question. I think it's an excellent question. Peter, do you have any suggestions or advice for our students? Where do we start creating new lights in this dark age?
Well, the best thing is to go to Walmart. Outside of it, not inside. Inside is totally boring and depressing.
Sorry, when someone's typing, it's very hard to hear.
But when you
So go to Walmart. I heard go to Walmart.
yeah, you take a little, either New York Times or local news, and you read from that. And you take a fiddler or a trumpet player with you, and you make fun of what you're reading there. That's an excellent way of starting.
Okay. Okay, so let me see if I got that right. Go to Walmart, take some news, read the news out loud, bring a fiddler or a trumpeter, and as you read the news, make fun of it.
Yeah, practice laughter, the divine laughter kind.
Practice laughter.
We learned from the Egyptian god. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah, and cheap art. So, but we forgot to take along is what they used to call them cigarette girls. The ones that have a box around their neck and they sell cigarettes to the audience. And we have lots of little books that we want to disperse to the public. We don't know yet, but that would be another good added thing in the Walmart parking lot. And it's usually something like 1 for 25 cents, 2 for a dime, 3 for a nickel, and that way you get rid of all your wisdoms.
Okay, what are the little packets? I missed that. What are the packets that you
little
sell?
Comics, little 12-page comics usually.
12-page comics.
Yeah, that just reiterate the news. They take the news and rewrite them. So
Got it. Oh my gosh. Oh, fantastic. Oh.
There are thousands of them.
Okay.
212,000.
Okay. That sounds great. Well, thank you so much for creating this show for us. It really is a special, special experience in such a dark time. So thank you for bringing lightness. And please come visit us in person soon.